Hello, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's online summit, Managed Wi-Fi for MDUs Ready for Prime Time. My name is Adlane Fellah. I'm a Chief Analyst at Maravedis and its venture, MDU Experts. I'm really excited and proud to welcome you today. This event has been on the making for almost 2 months. And what started as a small webinar following the release of a market report on July 12, converted into an online summit with 8 industry leaders and over 350 registered. So really excited and nervous. The great response from the market today reflects the excitement of the market opportunity for managed Wi-Fi in multi-dwelling units. While there are viewers from around the world, the summit today is focused on the US market. I want to thank our sponsors, particularly Cambion Networks, for their great support, and all our speakers for helping promote the event and sharing their time and insights today. Today's agenda is packed with great presentations from speakers representing MSPs, equipment vendors, and the NMHC. We're also lucky to have such great leaders part of the ecosystem to discuss regulation, business models, market trends, and technology. After each speaker has shared their views on the market, we will open the summit for a panel. And it will be then my pleasure to welcome our special guest, Phelan Ross, Senior Director and Ancillary Services at Avalon Bay Communities. He will provide us the property owner's ultimate perspective. We will then open the Q&A for questions from the audience. The event today will last about 2 hours. Some housekeeping items. The event is being recorded, and you will receive the slide deck along with the recording within the next 24 hours. We want you to tell us how we did at the end of the webinar. You will get a link to fill out a survey. And we want to know what we missed and what we did good. There's some numbers about registrations today. We have a majority of attendees coming from SMPs and MSOs, the communication service providers. We have a decent representation from property management and owners and construction, although we would like to have more. But I think 15% is a pretty decent number. We do have an interesting uptake from system integrators and distributors who are very interested in the topic, and the rest is composed of the technology vendors. First of all, I would like to say who is MDU Experts and why are we organizing this event today in the first place. MDU Experts is the new venture by Maravedis dedicated to consulting, research, tools, and lead generation for the MDU. For those who never heard about Maravedis, we have been a boutique wireless infrastructure firm since 2002. Our main proposition for the MDU market is to bring those years of wireless experience in the multifamily space for helping you with vendor evaluation, RFP preparation, business case modeling, and Wi-Fi deployment strategies. Tools that we are planning to offer include a deployment guidelines, list of MSPs, system integrators, and developers. Our offering is aimed at property owners, MSPs, and technology vendors. Those are some information that's available on our website that's free for download. The most relevant would probably be the case for managed Wi-Fi white paper we produced last year, along with the report I'll be discussing today. So let's start with a definition here. How it's important we establish what we're talking about and the differences between bulk internet and managed Wi-Fi. We look at bulk internet as a service that provides a community with internet. It means that a bulk internet contract covers every unit in the building using a single provider. Managed Wi-Fi is a bit more complex. It involves designing, installing, and professionally managing the wireless network throughout the property, independently of who owns the equipment. While not everyone on the call would agree with this definition, the idea is managed Wi-Fi will provide a reliable infrastructure layer inside the unit and throughout the property to ensure seamless, secure, and reliable wireless access everywhere. And this is the foundation for providing facility IoT in the building as well. Another important aspect we need to establish: what are the benefits of managed Wi-Fi and why are we meeting today? For residents, managed Wi-Fi means a better overall connectivity experience with predictable and superior performance, coverage, and security. It also means thanks to Wi-Fi calling, mobile coverage issues are resolved. Residents can also enjoy the much desired benefits of a connected smart home without having to deal with the complexity of IoT or being locked into a separate contract for internet. What's in it for property owners? We'll hear more about it today. But for property owners and managers, Wi-Fi translates into more ancillary revenues and better operational efficiencies, which then result in a better net operating income, NOI. They can increase the value and retention rate of their properties and deploy facility IoT to automate select processes such as visiting new apartments, reducing waste, and also empowering their staff with tools to be more effective. What's in it for CSPs, the communication service providers, whether they're MSOs, LECs, or MSPs? It's that managed Wi-Fi translates into longer-term contracts and more predictable revenues. They no longer need to engage into a race to the bottom, offering a dumb pipe at always cheaper rates. So let's look at the market drivers. There are 6 of them that we have identified. First most is the new constructions of multifamily units. It's continuing to rise in 2022. Almost 1 million multifamily unit buildings were under constructions as of March of this year, the highest number in half a century. The market opportunity for providing managed Wi-Fi to these new constructions is impressive. Given that more than 2 million units will be built in the next 5 years, this is even more impressive. The second driver, we believe, is that multifamily rental demand is undergoing a generational transformation. According to a survey by Parcel Pending, 90% of millennials are renters, and their generation represents 40% of the entire housing market. Home technology is at the center of this new generation's life, and the COVID pandemic has accelerated the trend with hybrid working. So today, basically, residents live in smaller units that have bigger amenities, such as Wi-Fi. The other important aspect is that we have more devices. In average, residents have 20 devices, most of which rely on Wi-Fi. They also rely increasingly on connected smart home applications, such as smart lighting, thermostats, and door locks in their daily lives. As a result of all these trends, residents have really more expectation when it comes to connectivity. To consumers, Wi-Fi equals the internet and vice versa. An inefficient Wi-Fi will frustrate residents or their guests, impacting their retention. And as a result, Wi-Fi has become the new utility or necessity. Another important aspect that's driving the market is the fact that the growing presence of institutional investors in the conventional rental market. It has important implications because these tend to adopt new technology to improve efficiency. And managed Wi-Fi can be a real differentiator for owners and developers to attract and retain residents. Larger corporate property owners are more likely to have professionally installed and managed connected properties, which will increase and reduce our cost. As a last driver, I initially had put the FCC regulation on multi-family units, but my discussions with most of the stakeholders have indicated that there was more of a marketing play that didn't have necessarily the largest impact on the market. Instead, I put network as a service where hardware, software, services and management, and licensing components are consumed increasingly and accepted as a subscription-based model. And this is happening in the MDU space, and it's also happening in enterprise campuses. The NAS model is driven by the fact that enterprises, and that includes property managers, are enabled to keep pace with the technology innovations in a context of lack of skilled labor, and the fact that security attacks are prevalent and requires enterprises to be on top of that. So NAS has become a way to go for MDUs to serve the communities. The research I'm sharing with you today comes from the market report we published in July 12 of this year. The report, which took about 4 months to produce, is composed of three aspects, three parts. First was the online survey, which was conducted between April and June, and focused on connectivity issues for the MDU. We asked respondents about 18 questions and collected 152 responses, mainly from property owners and MSPs. Second aspect was composed of one-on-one interviews with the MSPs and technology providers, as well as industry associations. Third part was we built market projections for both total addressable market and our expectations of how the market will grow in the next 5 years. There's a link at the bottom where you can access the brochure for the report. And so the first part of the online survey, we included here demographics of the responses. But third came from the property side, as you can see here in yellow. A third came from communication service providers, including MSPs and MSOs. And the rest was really split between system integrators, distributors, and industry associations. It's worth noting that technology vendors were excluded from participating to the survey. The first finding we have is most respondents who already have managed Wi-Fi or were about to offer it. So the top three drivers around improving the residents' experience by increasing Wi-Fi coverage throughout the property and easing the onboarding process is also an aspect that managed Wi-Fi also enables them to do. And of course, making Wi-Fi more secure, which we'll discuss in other presentations. So managed Wi-Fi enables more of an orderly deployment, especially now that we have smaller units, more units, and so more RF propagation issues that can arise. Today, less than 1% of all brownfield rental properties and less than 10% rental units built in the last 5 years have fully managed Wi-Fi to residents. So we built our market projections by breaking down properties by age and size. From there, we built our own projections for the total market evolution. The brownfield properties here in blue and green represent the most significant potential market for Wi-Fi. The majority of the rental unit stock is composed of properties older than 5 years, and 2/3 of these brownfield properties have less than 100 units. So deploying managed Wi-Fi in these properties can be more challenging, and I mean that towards the brownfield properties, because of the need to retrofit the existing wiring and telco infrastructure. Pierre from Positron will discuss some technologies that can enable that in the brownfield environment. Properties with over 100 to 150 units are primary candidates, in our belief, and for adopting managed Wi-Fi. Over time, the proportion of rental units with over 100 units will be increasing, as we discussed earlier, because new rental developments tend to provide more units that are smaller in size. This is my final slide here. We present the expected bulk internet revenue separately for MSPs and property owners. We believe managed Wi-Fi services are expected to reach $6 billion by 2028. Property owners charge residents a substantial markup on top of the rate they pay to MSPs or MSOs for internet. In the report, we also provide the expected revenues for the support and maintenance that MSP charge properties owners for the wireless infrastructure maintenance and support side, excluding internet access. So in a nutshell, for ISPs and MSPs competing on price for broadband, managed Wi-Fi really is a golden opportunity to escape the race to the bottom and generate handsome revenues over longer-term contracts. We're bullish about the market. In conclusion, we believe that managed Wi-Fi in the MDU is a very large market opportunity, and we believe the market is ready for prime time and will be profitable for all stakeholders. And that's all for me today. Thank you very much for your attention.